start with continuing, please. Is there anybody not available for the game this weekend?
Not regarding the last game. There were no injuries in that game. The only one who is not available yet is Eden Hazard, although he is on the pitch working. And I think that he in the upcoming week will have full training sessions, and then we'll decide whether he can join us in the Arsenal game next weekend. And the rest is okay. Falcao is out, we knew that. But the rest who was available last game is available now.
So no chance that that Eden will be involved this weekend, but obviously a boost then that he's getting closer.
Yeah, what I said before, we have to be a little bit careful that we don't fall again in the setback. That's why I say he must have some tough training sessions in let's say midweek, Thursday. From Tuesday to Thursday, he must have an intense training sessions.
You know it's the transfer window, and you know that we're interested in that kind of thing. It's been reported since the last game that if you were to bring a striker in, you would have to sell one. Is that accurate to describe it that way?
To sell one?
You'd have to sell a striker before you could bring one in. Is that right?
No. In this kind of questions in January, I'm always going back almost literally. So not to give a lot of comments about that. I'm happy. On the other hand, that Remy is now working a full week with high intensity, and if needed, he can be on the pitch. So that's a little bit new for me as well. But that's good. So as long as this is happening, we are not very active in doing other things.
In a wider sense about the transfer window, Guus, is it difficult for Chelsea to do business at the moment because you don't necessarily know what you're offering the players, in so much as you don't know if you're going to finish in the top four in that Champions League, you don't know if you're going to be in the Europa League, and to be honest, it could well be that they might wonder if you're going to be in the Premier League next year.
Yeah, that's a very realistic view, and Chelsea has to deal with that. And also in the new setting, you never know. There might be influence, or there shall be influence of the new staff, the new manager, etc., etc. That's our question marks for Chelsea, and for the other yes or no to come in. And that's true. That's the reality of Chelsea nowadays.
So is everything almost on hold for this month?
I think so.
In terms of the training sessions, you said when we spoke to you on Tuesday that Roman watched a couple of sessions in the build-up to the West Brom game. Do you see an extra intensity from your players when he's around? Do you sense that they want to impress him or train harder? Did you notice
No, that would saying that you're maybe not willingly, but you say that they don't do their ultimate intensive play during the training sessions. No, he likes to watch, and the players act very normal. Nothing special.
Just on Falcao, you mentioned that he's obviously still out. The Monaco vice president was quoted this week saying that they decided not to take him back to the club because of his injury. Does that mean that you would have been happy if he had have gone back?
Well, for him it's important, yes. For him it's important to start playing, because if you see his recent path of here and also in Man U not playing, yeah, that's difficult for a player. So he must look for the circumstances where he can play. And yeah, I can understand this remark here.
And just an extension of what we said about you don't know where Chelsea are going to finish. Are you in a relegation battle? You're closer to the bottom three than the top four.
And also, very realistic view. If you see there are 12 points difference on the fourth place, which is Tottenham, and that's a gap. But if you and of course we all like to look forward and on top of the table, but also don't be unrealistic, and you're 6 points off and you're under the line of relegation. That's also a fact. So we have to work hard and be very concentrated and gather our points to step up, and that's why it was it was a setback. A pity that in the 86th minute we got this draw against West Brom, which would have helped us a lot in going up.
Do you think that's a wake-up call for everyone that relegation is a reality?
I think so, but it's reality. We were down when we started. We were 1 point off the line, relegation line, and now we have a little bit more of a breathe. But anyhow, we have 2 difficult games coming up. Everton, which have a very good away record as well in the last 10 games. I don't know by heart, but I think 9 out of 10 they made a result. And then Arsenal, which means 2 very difficult games. And if you don't gather there the points, you don't know what the others do. Premier League can surprise you.
I just wanted to ask you about Diego Costa, because you probably right when you said after the game that he played within the limits, because he didn't get sent off. He got 1 yellow card, but he didn't get sent off. So that's probably a fair assessment of him from the other night. But the fact that you're short on strikers, if he was to be sent off and suspended, it would probably cause you a problem in terms of options in that department. When he continually gets into the altercations that he does during the game and risk yellow cards and red cards, is that a selfish way of thinking, do you think?
But first of all, I think this referee didn't want to send off anyone. It remembers me now of a kind remark of my 4th official. He unarmed me fully. I told him, maybe I cannot, I tell it, come on. I told him, this is one of the worst referees of the Premier League I experienced. He said to me, no, you haven't seen me yet, he said. which was a beautiful remark, I think. That was about this 2 yellow cards, which was not given. So also to Diego, the second yellow was not there. But they are playing on the edge. He's playing on the edge, but also the opponents, they are playing on the edge. They are also a bit they're a bit provoking as well. In little things, they cross each other. If you see when the game is going on my left side, then you see there Diego, and you see, because I try to have a broadened vision, and you see little things, little touches, little things. So it's mutual. It's mutual, but nevertheless he should control. And I think he didn't win. Didn't go out of order, but was on the edge. Was on the edge. Both ways. Both ways.
Doesn't he think about himself and wanting to get into the altercation rather than, well, if I got sent off, it would cost the team not only in the game but in a suspension. And there aren't a lot of options after this.
That's true, but I didn't think it was Wednesday a reason to send him off.
Sure. And as long as he continues to act like that, he becomes a target for opponents. If you were managing against Chelsea, you'd probably tell your defenders, give him an elbow, give him a pinch.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to tell everything as a manager. Players are smart enough to do what they think they must do. But of course, I talk about this with him, not every day, but this morning, just a few minutes. That also the opponents, they like to provoke a bit, which is also normal in a men's game. But he has to deal with that as well. And the referee has to deal with that, because we can all aim ourselves on Diego, but there's more at stake at that moment. I'll defend my players, especially when they are very, very hot. Not saying that, hey, guy, we must control ourselves. We must have our self-control, not damaging yourself and the team. That's true also. But there's always this delicate provocations from left and from right.
Thank you.
Guus, Diego, obviously you commented on the tunnel wall. Has the repair job being carried out now?
Yeah, I've one of my previous jobs. I did a lot of things before I got into management. I was a plumber and a builder, constructor. I checked it out the day afterward, and I didn't see anything. Just a little bit scratches on the plastic wall. That's all.
So you couldn't see any damage?
No, but it was an expression of frustration, of not winning, etc., etc. Yeah.
And
no big deal, I think.
there've been more players linked with Chelsea this week, including Alexandre Pato. Is there any truth in that?
No, that's what I can repeat my answer on the previous question, which was strikers. We have now Diego, we have Remy back, and we have some youngsters who can fill up that gap. So we are not in that at the moment.
But the fact that Monaco could have taken Falcao back suggests that you might only have 2 strikers. Are you prepared to go forward with only 2 strikers?
Yeah, but Falcao issue is different, I think, because the reason they don't take him back is injury-wise.
Real Madrid and Atletico have been hit with a transfer ban this week. It doesn't include this transfer window. Do you have any concerns that they'll come in and look at Chelsea players like Eden Hazard and try and get them?
All big clubs are looking to big players, but I'm not sure. And it's I think they both protested, and I don't know whether they cannot use this transfer window and the summer transfer window, or that it will be postponed to the summer and the next winter window. But I don't expect much of this in this window.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Paul.
Yes, we've seen improvements all over the pitch in the last couple of weeks. How close is Cesc Fabregas to his best?
Yeah, I'm happy with the performance of Cesc, and he's fit, but he's also very fresh. What is important in many games to be played, and he can play in this midfield position, in different midfield position. He's going advanced, playing advanced. He can drop back, but I like him also to see in a position where he can play with his quality of the final pass. He can do that. He did that from several positions in midfield, and that's good to see. And because this team, what I said before, we need always leaders in the vertical axe or spine of the team, and he can be, and he is one of those key players now.
And what about Everton? Where are their main threats?
They like to play and build up the game from their back four. They do that in a very clever way, and their midfield is experienced. They have the danger of their wide players coming inside. They have the danger of having, we'll see who will play tomorrow, but they have the strikers who are very penetrating always into the danger area. So it's a team who can play football and is very dangerous. So it's difficult, will be a very difficult, but I think very attractive match.